Islam.
Peace.
We about to get started. And we here. We live. Islam, Islam, Islam. Happy holy day.
Islam, happy holiday.
Happy holy day. How's everybody doing in the internet world on Roku TV? Social media. Peace and love. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Moorish Science PodClass. We about to get started. I'm your brother, man, and friend, Brother Kenneth L. Honored to be here to host with our good brother. Let you introduce yourself.
Islam, happy holiday. I'm the co-host of Daryl Goff's Ill. Islam,
Islam.
welcome to the
So,
Moorish Science PodClass.
yes, sir. So, why don't you start off, man? Let the people, let them know as we wait for our guests to join us. Let them know what to expect today, man. What's today's discussion about?
Well, today's discussion is about what it means to be active in the divine and national movement of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Islam, going to touch on a few things. I don't want to spoil it for the listeners and the viewers, but we're definitely going to touch on a few things in regards to nationality and what it means to participate on the highways and byways. Islam, just keep it short and brief. But yeah, we're going to get into a few things like that.
Islam. Islam. So, I guess the question for you before we get started with our guest today, because I've been on this and I've demonstrated my portion, but
All
I'm
right.
gonna ask if you could, first praise Allah, honest to His Prophet, honest to all things Moorish.
No
Now,
question.
if you could just share your thoughts on this question that we have right here, man. What is Islam? As we wait for our guests, let's talk about this from your portion.
My portion of what is Islam? Simply, Islam means peace. Um, the prophet said, simplicity is a charm. So the simple answer to that is peace. But just to elaborate a little bit on what peace actually is, um, peace is one of the five highest principles known to man, Islam. Um, After love and truth, there comes peace, Islam. So it's a transitional principle, but at the same time, it's within it's a journey. Um, it's a journey that we all have to take, um, and I believe that we all strive for, whether we vocalize it or not. Peace is something that we all strive to reach. So when you talk about Islam and the simple um, translation or meaning of it being peace is something that you know um, everybody you know should at least have some type of ideal of or idea of. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to ramble. Like I said, simply Islam means peace. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Grand Sheik will give us a more in-depth um, meaning and translation or a demonstration um, about what it means. So, um, in hindsight, I mean, briefly, what's your take? What's your portion on what is Islam? Islam?
Islam, and essentially what you said, it's just demonstrating peace. It's a simple word, simple phrase, simple concept. It's just living at peace with one's life. So, and in fact, we do have our beloved Grand Sheik in here. He just joined in the back office. Somebody go ahead and bring him on live. So, let me see here. Islam.
Islam,
Islam, Grand Sheik.
Islam.
Islam. Happy holy
Islam.
day.
Happy holiday to the Moors, and thank God it's Friday to everybody else.
That's right.
No question. The noblest of the noble. Islam.
The brother's looking great. Praise be to
Islam.
Allah.
Yourself as well, beloved. Yourself as well.
Praise Allah.
Islam. So you kind of chimed in right on time. If we just kind of opened it up, and we started off with just a general question, just so you can weigh in, and then we'll go ahead and defer to our brother Garcelle to go ahead and embark on these questions for this interview we're having today. But for starters, what is Islam?
Oh, Islam. It's so many definitions of it, and I don't think none of them are wrong. But it's a word in the Arabic language that means peace.
Islam.
It's a word in the Arabic language that means peace. And peace can be expressed in many forms. So I just think it's something that's universal. But just because of a certain language that a lot of people may not use as often and identify as it belonging to everybody, so to speak, they shun it because it is of the Arabic language and they think it relates to a certain people. But it just means peace.
That's simple.
Simple faith, simple word, simple thing. Do you, and don't hurt nobody in the process.
Right.
Islam.
Islam.
Well, hey, if we may, I'm gonna go ahead and defer to you, brother. We got some questions today, y'all. So I hope y'all tuned in. We're gonna have some great dialogue. And I just want to say one thing really quick just before we get started. Just remember the objectives for our listening audience. Honest to you that are on Roku. Shout out to Elevate the Family TV network. Thank y'all. We love y'all. Make sure y'all are tuned in and signed in to the network. Make sure that you got your tickets for the upcoming She Who Inspires Me and the He Who Inspires Me event that's going down in May. So make sure you participate.
You hosting that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, I'll be there hosting. Yeah, we got the basketball game going down as well with a few of the N1 players, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my son in there. I told you, bro.
Yeah, man, we need him. I heard he
he just dropped 1,000 points too, man. The last couple games back.
Oh nice.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, scored. He reached 1,000 point mark. Yeah.
Moore's been asking about him. They couldn't believe he's 6'3".
Yeah, man.
6'3",
yeah, man. Yeah, he get it from his mama. He don't get it from me.
Praise
but yeah, man. Praise the Lord for him, man. He's doing good, man.
Islam.
The first Mufti of Unity Temple 7. Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And straight out the kitchen. Straight out the kitchen. Yes, sir. So let's hop right in it, man. Praise the Lord, man. First of all, welcome, Grand Sheik Prince Noble Ill, out of Chicago, Illinois, Temple 7, straight out the kitchen. Islam. Praise the Lord for you, brother, beloved. So first and foremost, let's get right into the first question, man. I'll say it like this. How does a Moor move from simply studying the teachings to actually embodying them in daily life, especially in family relationships, moral discipline, and service to others? It's on the screen too, so if you can read the screen.
Islam. Just first, I want to rise giving all praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, who is also the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. I want to give high honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, a prophet from amongst ourselves, speaking our tongue so we may know. High honors to all prophets, past, present, and future. High honors to all leaders of the Moorish Science Temple of America, past, present, and future. High honors to the Supreme Grand Sheik King Umar Bey. High honors to all Supreme Grand Sheiks, all officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America. High honors to you, brothers, and high honors to everybody in attendance. Great question.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Great question. How does a Moor move from simply studying the teachings to actually embodying the daily life, especially family? Excuse me. First, when you learn something new, you want to share it with everybody. Especially if you think or feel, or even if you're experiencing some elevation from it, whether it be motivation, whether it be divine, whether it be financial, whether it be anything. So I think it's just something that you must first learn to accept for yourself and not try to force it on people. But once you start living the life of what you're learning and studying and visualizing, seeing from other brothers and sisters in the community that you're a part of, that's maybe been here longer than you, then people will start to see your change and ask you questions.
Mhm.
I would recommend, just from my experience, but not everybody's experience is the same,
Mm-hmm.
that give people a chance to ask you about it before you run and tell them, because it can be a little
Overwhelming.
overwhelming, because of the passion and the holy zeal that you're trying to share it with your people, and
Mm-hmm.
you're already activated from it, and they're not yet activated, but you're attempting to communicate it as if you're all activated at once. So I just think it's something that takes time, slow progression. Learn to just attempt to be what you're learning, and people will see it and begin to ask you questions.
Okay, so like, what about in like relationships? You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times you see brothers and sisters come to the temple alone.
Yes.
Praise
Yeah.
the Lord, as you get a lot of families as well that come together. But what about those brothers and sisters that may come to the temple alone and have a significant other outside of the temple?
Well, and that's a great question. We done experienced it. Praise
No
Allah.
question.
Praise Allah. We got wives and we were in the temple as family. And so we had kind of attracted family. A lot of times you do attract what you are or what you're representing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our lessons, it teach us give our wives two apples. You got to be more patient with your significant other. Just because she's not where you are along the road, because I'm quite sure in other things it's the other way around too as well. She
Yes,
may
no
be
question.
further along in some things that you're not further along with. So it would only be right to move with patience with each other.
No question. First
Um,
degree. No question.
yeah, and of course, through our experience, we've both, maybe all three of us, have experienced Moorish science, starting with ourselves before introducing it to our families and our wives and things of that nature. But it's been
Yeah,
a great ride. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
It's been a journey, bro. It's been a
It's
journey
beautiful.
for sure. No
We
question.
went from black beards to white beards. Praise Allah.
Hair and no
I'm
hair.
still Blackbeard. I got a couple of white in there, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah. You ain't. You just ain't there yet. It's okay. You ain't. You'll be there. You'll be there soon.
I got some strands in here, a couple
Yeah, I
strands,
know. No,
but
hey,
it
you talking?
ain't.
Yeah, I know. I seen them.
This grandchildren showing, brother.
Oh yeah.
Tell them again, grandson. Yes, sir. So look, let's get off into a little bit, more into that question. We still got a little bit of time. So like, what about the moral discipline in the whole thing? What do you speak on about the moral discipline? Like, what does it take to be morally disciplined?
Of course, another great question. I say to be tolerant,
Mm.
to be tolerant, to
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
be understanding of everything that's around you.
No question.
To be able to become one. We have examples of it. Even when the forerunner, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey, met with the Ku Klux Klan and things of that nature. We know what was going on in between the peoples and what was going on, but tolerance only on both sides allowed that meeting.
Right.
Any meeting of any type of opposition, whether political, social, economic, whatever, any meeting of the minds is a demonstration of tolerance. And I think that's the first thing in the whole movement that would just bring a little more calmness to the people that don't know, to the people that don't know. But we just so anxious and just full of wanting them to know, because we know that time is really of the essence. and we go from black to white really quick. And we got to reach as many people as we can while we can. So tolerance, I think, is the key. The order of the day: tolerance.
Islam. Well, I mean, you got any other, any questions for the Grand Sheik? I mean, I got a few more questions, but if you got one you would throw in there real quick, Brother Kenny, let me know. We still got some time to demonstrate, bro.
Okay. I just want you to elaborate a little bit more on the tolerance side.
Okay.
Because I think it's something we understand what the word means, but can you just give us a few more examples as far as from our behavior as a people? If this is for anybody who if they're frustrated because they've been in the movement for years and they want things done, they're frustrated because they feel like things aren't being done, whatever it might be. And we often can see it online through social media, more attacking one another. So I feel like the tolerance is something we got to just elaborate on. So can you just kind of give some tips as far as how can one learn to tolerate each other better, and how can we resolve conflicts that where we may feel that we just can't tolerate it? Like, what do we do if that ain't working? If that ain't gonna cut it?
Conflict resolution, Grand Sheik. That's what we're talking about right now.
Islam. You know, every question, I'm quite sure tonight is going to be a great question. So I'm going to be repeating myself. Great question. You know, coming from us as Moorish American Muslims, the first people we must be tolerant towards is each other. We have to be the example of what we're claiming to know, be, want, and trying to bring other people into, especially in the public. You know, we have lessons. I'm quite sure everybody have lessons about keep your wrongdoings out the eyes of the public. Your family used to tell you, family business, stay in the house, don't let people know what's going on outside. So that's not nothing new. But we have to learn to want to understand each other's differences. We have to want to accept each other's differences, because it's one thing, like I said, to be tolerant. You can be forced to be tolerant, though. So that's why I'm saying I think we should want. It has to be seen that we want more peace, more unity, more toleration, more it has to be known. I want more. Okay, me and you, but we need more of what we're trying to achieve. So I think if they see that, even in our disagreements, publicly, privately, if we still can express how we got over it, we worked through it, we still here, we still want advice, we got instructions that we take criticism
Islam.
outside people within our society who in their right mind wouldn't.
Right.
No question.
We have instructions that we are to honor all true and divine prophets. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, that covers the 4 corners of the planet Earth. So just our lessons alone teaches us how to be tolerant with everything and everybody.
That's right.
But we seem to have the lessons more so trying to put them out than using them within. Because if we use them more on self and within, even within the nation, then our people will see that we actually do have a saving power. So I you know, toleration is everything. People understand at different times. We got the lesson on all buds don't unfold at the same time.
True.
You know, they say great players make terrible coaches because they expect everybody to be able to do what they can do. It's no different than a teacher. It's no different than somebody that's been studying for years. It's no different than somebody that's been working out for years. If you're great at it, of course you want people to be as great as you, but your discipline may not yet be their discipline. And it's not our individual place to try to force that discipline on people, but we should be trying to encourage ones to recognize and want to have that discipline within themselves. And I think it only comes with, like, you know, through the humility of being honest and saying when we don't know how to do things. No different than getting on this podcast. I had to make some texts and some calls. I really don't, you know, to say, hey, what's going on? They won't let me in, but I'm here, praise the Lord. But it's,
Praise the Lord.
you know, if we can get through embarrassment, if we can get through, and I think all those things are part of toleration too, because people be embarrassed and then never show up again, or people get embarrassed and never open their mouth again. And we supposed to, with the understanding that we're learning and supposed to have now, that it's all right to be wrong because you can become right. It's all right to not know because you can learn. It's all right to not do because you can start doing. It's also, we're always knowing that it's a positive to a negative, and that for me is the embodiment of toleration. You gotta know that it's all right. They just not there yet, or you're not there yet, you know, and just tolerate. Love. The only saving power, love.
Islam. I'm glad you said that too, right? Because we can kind of like you know, with the mention of love, we can kind of segue right into, you know, the next question. And the next question is, you know, well, all Moors love, right? And that's, we want to dig into nationality, right? And so I got a question for you, Grand Sheik. In today's world, what does it truly look like to live out one's nationality in a lawful, practical way without confusion or symbolism that goes nowhere?
What does it mean to live out one's life in today's legal, social, and community system without confusion, conflict, or empty symbolism? Well, you know, everything has an identity. Once learned, it can be easily identified. No different than we wear the fez, and the sisters wear turbans and the pins. That's our identifier and a sign and a symbol of our nationality, from a legal perspective, from a religious perspective, from a social perspective, from a community perspective. And just starting with ourselves, just being ourselves shouldn't cause confusion or conflict. But if we don't present ourselves and display that toleration again, then it will come off as if it's some radical behavior, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been set up legally and socially, since 1928. Right here in Chicago, Illinois. We are a lawful society within this big society. Every other nation is. We know that we still lack some things that other nations have, and that they're able to present themselves in a more legal, social, communal way, because they have more assistance, because they have more unification. And where there's unity, there's strength, not just from a physical point of view, but from a political point of view, which will allow us to get those things that's recognizable once you are a legal, social, communal, society. So, and then as far as the symbolism,
wait. Before we get into the symbolism part, I don't mean to cut your wheels. Hold that thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into like, because at the end of the day, when you see especially through social media, right? When you're looking through the goggles of social media, you see quote unquote black people, you see quote unquote brown people, you see quote unquote other nationalities of people, right? But let's just kind of focus in on the whole national or nationality aspect of it, because that's basically the gist of the conversation, right? So when we're talking about nationality, and you got the quote unquote black people, the quote unquote brown people, Asiatics, right? And then you have the Moorish Americans, right? And then you have the sovereign Moors, right? Or however they present themselves in that particular manner. And I heard you also say something about it's strength in numbers. Unity is the strength of us all. I'm paraphrasing, right? But kind of get into what it means for us as this sort of disunified group of people, that in the essence of it all, what we need is to unify. So kind of get into that and what that means to the movement, Islam.
Another great question. In order for anything to come together, it must have an agreeable starting point. So another word for that would be a foundation.
Islam.
It should have a solid foundation, meaning all ingredients mesh, come together and form something solid. And it denotes that whatever was individual is now one, if that makes sense.
Elaborate.
So this conversation is a social, economic, a financial, a divine conversation, because it all connects. And that's what Islamism is. It deals with our social, economic, political, financial, educational, our health, our food. It's all in one. It's not separated. So what we have to do, and I'm quite sure you Moors know as well, is I don't want to. I'm trying to see how I can simplify it to include everyone. The foundation. The foundation. What is the only thing? Now hear me out, because words mean what they mean now, and there's a power in the tongue, my people. What is the only thing that will immediately make us one in the same, that's free from our differences, meaning religion? That's the only thing that separates so-called black people, our religion, quote unquote. What's the one thing that right now, if we all agreed to, will make us one? That shouldn't cause conflict because it's free from your personal lifestyle, because it allows you to unfold in your own time, but it still don't take away from who you are and who I am. What's the only thing? And it's the topic of discussion. Our nationality.
Nationality, yeah.
It doesn't matter your religion. You still share nationality with somebody. It doesn't matter your sexual preference. You still share nationality with somebody. It doesn't matter your height, your complexion, your favorite food, all those personal things that you still share with millions and millions of people, whether you like it or not. The foundation. And that's what we bringing to the table. This is the foundation that will unite us to allow us to actually use our power. We know we're strong in individual organizations, but those individual organizations still don't have a solid foundation, meaning they all can't stand on top of each other or stand with each other. Somebody's going to think they're over somebody. Somebody's going to think they're bigger than somebody, better than somebody, bring more than somebody. We're just here as the foundation for all our Asiatic organizations to stand on. But in order to make the foundation stronger, we all must claim one thing that shouldn't be controversial amongst ourselves, because it has nothing to do with our personal nothing, because it allows you to be yourself and unfold in your own time. We're just recommending that you be a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of your nation and the foundation that you are a part of, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Bro, I get it. It's loud and clear.
But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you're gonna get those individuals or organizations, might I say, that
they don't need the foundation.
Yeah, that found solace in, having their own quote unquote organization, or having their own quote unquote identity. Like you have people that identify now as foundational, like, and that's a part of the actual term, right? Foundational Black Americans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're talking about people and identity, right, and the confusion lies in all of the separate terms of identity. So just to close out this particular question, what do you say about the differences of terminology when it comes to identifying ourselves?
I think we all those names. I think
so. How do we tie that in? How do we tie that in to make it, or to go ahead?
Well, I think it's in current time now. You know, we go from ancient time to current time. And all we're doing, the only reason why it's so many different names is because we're coming back into ourselves, and we're all of these names. We're all of these people. We're all of these different tribes. And if we identify with those tribes, I'm talking about wholeheartedly, then that's who you are. But you still come from the foundation, the mother of all those tribes, the empire that allowed the establishment and the protection of those tribes, that gave the identity of all those tribes. You wasn't a tribe in an empire without being a part of the foundation, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I'm quite sure all of those tribes were still one nation. And that's all we're bringing to the table. A lot of our people still only understand tribal life because we've been the diaspora. We've been separated. We've been dispersed. We've been put over. So now we identify from where we were taken from, because the truth don't change or pass away, right?
Right.
You are who your forefathers were, right? Without doubt or contradiction, right? And if you hit a call, you gonna answer if that's your call, right? So I just think we lost the essence of the only thing that can make us one is the nationhood. The nationhood, and not the individual tribes. I think the tribes are great and they're necessary and they're not going anywhere. But the tribes must recognize the nation, the mother and the father in which they come out of, in which they can always return to represent the family, if that makes sense.
Perfect sense. Perfect sense. It's long. You want to add something, or you want to go into the next demonstration, beloved?
Islam. Why not? Can you share some real world examples? Something you've seen or been a part of where these principles showed up, either through outreach or community service?
Oh, of course. Just any group of Moors that hosts weekly meetings, just to attempt to get more discipline and learning to live out the teachings, and also have space to be able to share and teach the information with our people. I think that's a great example, first and foremost, and that's like at the forefront of our program. You know, a lot of times when we speak and we talk about organization, and then we speak about membership organizations. If that am I being clear, or am I causing confusion? Membership organizations like a fraternity or a sorority, or a motorcycle club. Oh, those are organizations too, but we are not comparable to those organizations. In the sense of, when we use the term organization, it's more representative of us organizing ourselves, because we have come back into the understanding that if you don't organize yourself, somebody else will. We've been redeemed. We've been freed. We have our freedom back. And so we know that every nation organizes themselves. So when we use the terminology organization, and I think that's where a lot of confusion come in, because when people hear, oh, y'all just an organization, no, we're just not an organization. We are a nation of people trying to reach more of our people through what you only understand as being an organization. But we're organizing ourselves. That's the only organization that we are. We are a divine nation of people that's collectively trying to reunite all of our lost tribes.
Mm.
And it just goes back into those other questions about the tribalism. We're
Right.
all one. We're all one.
So essentially, any effort, all the efforts that we see, you know, from all the different groups or different administrations of Moors who are organizing, if you're having weekly meetings, whether you're doing them online, in person, if you are a part of any organized group that's serving in the community, going back to last week's discussion around community outreach, you know, not just the temple, but any of these groups, if you're doing your part and living out these principles, then those are examples. So it kind of goes back to what Ladero demonstrated last week as far as the quote around just joining an organization, getting active in your community. And us, obviously, we a little different because we are a nation within a nation, but that comes with the education part. So, and man, that kind of leads me to another question, but we're gonna hold off on that question.
You want to get into the next question?
Yeah, get into the next one.
I got a few questions, but
Islam, so is yours.
okay, this is a great one, and I think before I ask the question, I think that in our inception of Temple 7, you know, developing Temple 7, I think that we had we did some things that was sort of unorthodox as Moorish Americans, and I think what we did was now that I look back on it, it wasn't as unorthodox as I thought, and it was something that was needed, and it's something that other organizations do all of the time. And what we deemed it as was the nationality drive. Islam, I don't know you remember that perfectly, Grand Sheik, and I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of Moors found us, Islam, and was able to proclaim their nationality and you know, and become members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So I'll ask this question: how can Moors turn national principles into real action in their communities through education, economics, neighborhood work, and civic life?
That's great. Another great question. So we got to repeat ourselves. It's so much work to be done, and it's enough work for everybody. We're not all skilled in the same fields.
Right.
Of course, some is more political, social, economical, financial, all those things, lawful. Everybody got their expertise. We have to become more civically engaged because that's the mission of the movement. There is no God but Allah. Some call him by this name, some call him by this name. Not all nations know him the same, but there is no God but one. I think if we collectively, because we got to look at what the prophet did. It's all in our literature. He's talking all this political stuff. Right. He's telling us all about Allah. He's telling us all about God. He's telling us Friday is the holy day. He's telling us all that. But he also telling us basically go to the poll. Real Moors go to the polls. He's saying Islam. He's telling us real Moors vote. He's telling us real Moors become registrars to register their people to vote. Mm-hmm. So there are organizations within the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is a makeup of all Moorish Americans and their organizations. We call them auxiliaries, Islam.
Mm-hmm.
And that's of course not masculine or feminine. Because we familiar with the Sisters Auxiliary Board, but auxiliary is neutral to gender. Just an add-on to a foundation is just an extension or an auxiliary when we speak in organizationally, if that makes sense. That clear
No
it up.
question. Yes, sir.
So within our nation, within our organizing ourselves, within our civic organization, we have other civic organizations. And we need more Moors around the country in their states to be more active in their local politics. They should know their aldermen first and foremost, of course, because they're operating in a ward, I'm quite sure. If after that, depending on the work that they're doing, they should want to know the mayor. So I just think it's about introduction and going to introduce yourself. Any citizen can go meet their governing officials. So I think if you're in a city, state, or town as a Moorish American, you definitely should want to go know and meet all your governing officials. You should want to know and at least see what's going on amongst the other Asiatic organizations within your community, because who's going to listen to you if you're not even there to speak on it? Nobody wants to be around you if you don't want to be around them. And it goes back to tolerance. We speak on it from the inside, how we have September conventions and October conventions. If Moors from October want Moors from September to come, Moors have to go to September.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. But
It's
it has to be displayed that it can be done. It has, man need a pattern for his life, especially after some confusion and some confrontation. We've all had it. You have it with your family, you have it with your children, you have it with your spouses, and then you might not talk for a minute or whatever, and then you make up and you talk again, and it's supposed to be like that stuff never happened. If you're family,
right?
Which I think we all should at this point know that we're family, and we don't got time to be not acting like family.
That's right.
And that's all the nationality piece is letting the world know that we acknowledge each other as family. Nationality means family. Your religion could be what you want. Your sexual preference is what you want. Your education, all those individual things is on you. But you still belong to a family. And we need you on count.
Islam.
Islam. Well, just really quick, may I add, it's hard to claim something that don't claim themselves or claim you.
Right.
When somebody get it, if you claim to be whatever you're part of, they have things to protect you and speak on your behalf or attempt to protect you. You know, if in the workforce, they're called unions, you know what I mean? And in different fields, they're expressed in different ways, but it's for your protection and they speak on your behalf.
Right.
That's what the Moorish Science Temple of America is. It's set up to speak on the behalf of so-called Black people, the people that's known as African Americans, but those terms belong to other organizations. And if you claim those terms, then only those organizations that created those terms can speak for you.
Islam.
So in order for your people to be able to help you more and speak for you and stand with you legally, lawfully, and divinely, we have to first let the world know, hey, we family. And that's what, first and foremost, the one flag represents.
Wow.
This flag can protect every organization, every tribe that's connected to anything that they think is Negro, Black, colored, African American, Afro American, etc. It's the only flag of a nation that can speak for you from a divine point of view and lawful point of view. But you must first let the world know that you accept it and that you are a part and partial of it. And if you're not ready to say, hey, this who I am, then you don't have to. That's what we're here for. We're the governing officials of this said government. No different than you identify governing officials of other said government. You don't see everybody running around America, America, America. Only the governing officials. So we don't need you to just do this either all day, all day. We'll do that as governing officials. But just proclaim, because it's to honor your mothers and fathers. It's not about a religion first and foremost. It's about taking back your identity that was taken from you. It's about honoring your identity that was taken from you once you learn it again. How can you not pick up something that was taken from you that has now been presented back to you? What make you not want it? And that's what this is all about. We just want to invoke the spirit of you wanting to be more of yourself. So we're not trying to force religion on anybody. And that's the misconception of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Would you brothers agree?
Yes, sir.
Big one. Definitely a big
Everybody think, oh, Moorish American. And the first thing they say, well, I'm not a Muslim. I'm this, I'm not that. And the first thing I tell people is we honor all true and divine prophets. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. I think if Islam and religion was the most important thing of all of this, then I don't think we would honor all the prophets, because that's just an expression of tolerance, an expression to say that we can sit down and be around each other.
Right.
To even prove to each other that we have the same things, but just from different points of view. So tolerance, getting active in your communities, getting active in different organizations in whatever state you're in. Here in Illinois, we have the Alliance for Moorish American Progress. In other states, they have other organizations that deals with Moorish American business. But as far as other Asiatic organizations dealing with hunger, housing, all those things, I think the Moorish Science Temple of America and Moorish Americans should be more involved in those things, whether those people are Moorish Americans or not.
Islam. Well said, Grand Sheik. I really think you hit the nail on the head with that one right there. Islam. Yes, sir. So, with that being said, beloved, let's go into real quick before we close out Islam. We got a couple of more minutes before we get to closing statements and things of that nature, right? So real quick, Grand Sheik, what does it actually look like for us as a whole, as Moorish Americans, quote unquote black people, African Americans, or whatever the case may be? What does it look like for success? What does success look like for us on the ground?
Well, I think that may vary from an organizational point of view. And I think we all want the same thing as far as being able to educate ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, and feed ourselves. That's what life is all about at this point in time. Any and everything that anybody does as far as work or make a earning or a living is to house, feed, educate, and clothe yourself. So and that's where again that unity piece come in of all the different tribes. We need each other to make that a reality. And but our individualism still falls under us being one family, though. You know how cuz like that, it's all right. But I just want to work more with our people. I want to work more with Moors to show our people that we can get along. We're too much in the public Moors not getting along. I'm talking about the groups of Moors. We one nation. One nation. And we can't be trying to put this information on people if we ain't putting it on ourselves.
It's long. It's long. It's long. You're right about that, Grand Sheik. You're right about that. You're right about that.
So really quick, people, just if I may add.
We got 4 minutes left.
Islam. Really quick, make note of some things that Moorish Americans are doing. And this applies to the nation. So I'm going to share it on this platform and any other platform that I ever would get on as far as anything Moorish. House Bill 3486. House Bill 3486. It's an Illinois bill on the floor that we have to designate August as Moorish American Awareness Month. Not just a proclamation, but an actual bill that will be in law forever. So just take a look at that and then contact us if you want to know more about that and how to get involved in trying to bring that into a reality. Praise Allah. Happy Holy Day. Honors to you, brothers.
Yes, sir. Same here, beloved. Honors to you, beloved. Honors to you.
Islam.
You want to close us out real quick, beloved?
Not me. I'm first of all, praise Allah. You've done an amazing job just answering the questions and giving a real life kind of practical understanding around what it means to practice moral science, how to really embody the lessons to help with relationships, moral discipline, and service to others. So I think it's only right that we give you these final 2 minutes to demonstrate your final words. So I'm gonna go to you, Garcelle, and then to Grand Sheik, you could close us out.
Islam.
Real quick. So with that being said, for everyone that's watching tonight, Islam, whether you new to the teachings or you've studied for years, Islam, what is one responsibility you believe each Moor should personally commit to after this conversation, in their homes, their community, or in their life? This is not anything for us to answer on this podcast. This is a question that you take home from this PodClass and discuss with your family or have a more internal discussion with yourself, Islam. But take that and when you wake up in the morning, Islam, let's see how you're thinking after that. So I just want to leave with that closing statement / question. And if it's anybody that tunes in tonight, and you asking what does it really mean to be active, Islam, like I said, wake up in the morning tomorrow and ask yourself that question, Islam. So with that being said, don't close us out, Grand Sheik. We got a couple more minutes,
Islam. I want to read something out of our Moorish literature. Prophet Drew Ali speaks to the nations, not just to us. He's speaking to everybody. And this took place Friday, September 28, 1928. He says, if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race because you will know who you are and who your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet, sent to redeem this nation from mental slavery, which you have now, need every one of you who think that your condition can be better. This is a field open to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take your place in the affairs of men. If the Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish National Divine Movement. If you have a nation, you must have a free national name in order to be recognized by this nation as an American citizen. This is what was meant when it said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added unto you. So I say, visit the Moorish Science Temple of America to really learn what it's about. You won't learn the truth on Facebook. You won't learn the truth on YouTube. You won't learn the truth on TikTok. Please just visit the temple, proclaim your nationality, so you can at least attach yourself back to the family of nations, and we'll go from there. Praise be to Allah. Thank you. Happy holy day to everybody.
Islam.
Islam. Happy holiday, y'all. We'll see y'all on Sunday. We are bringing a new portion to the Roku TV into the Uniting of Asia YouTube channel, and that's going to be the Sunday School. It's going to be hosted by our sister McNair Bay. So look out for that. We'll be on the platform Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time to introduce Sunday School. So honestly, you Grand Sheik, thank you for demonstrating. Honestly,
praise Allah. Thank you, brothers, for the invite.
Islam.
Islam
hopefully
is.
There's gonna be many more, beloved.
Islam is.
Absolutely, y'all. Like and share this, subscribe, man. We see y'all soon.
Islam.
Peace.
Peace.